What's going on, Rockstar? Who's alive, excited, and full of energy? You guys doing all right? All right, all right, all right. So, hey, we're almost the halfway mark of the second quarter. Where are you at? Where are you at with your business? Our theme for this quarter is foot on the gas pedal, right? Making sure that we're working hard, making as much content as we can, connecting with as many people as we can, because we want to set ourselves up for the perfect summer. So what does the perfect summer look like for you? Think about that. What does the perfect summer look like for you? In my opinion, it would be doing a few sales, doing a number of sales, and taking a number of time off. We want to take some time off, enjoy the summer, and also making sure that we have enough in the pipeline that's going to carry us through the summer months. So foot on the gas pedal right now, getting as many conversations in there as we can, generating as much as you possibly can in your pipeline so that when the summer comes, you guys can take some time off. As you know, hey, a couple of weeks ago, Revy came online. Who here has been on the new platform, right? So it's replacing the Illume, jumping into Revy. Number things I want to point out here. The biggest things would be obviously in the coaching, right? You still have your coaching history. You have your calendar. It's here. Here's the new dashboard and how it looks like. In our tools, remember folks, we're looking at our business plan, tracking and reporting, and of course our listings and transactions. I'm going to incorporate action items in our calls. It's always been here. I've never really used it, but it'll be more like for assignments. I am going to start using that. And of course, you still have Revy AI, which has been we've been using that. It's replaced the Tom AI about a couple of months now. So new platform. Really excited about that. Just making sure that everyone's well aware of that. Who here saw my email that came out yesterday, the newsletter one? Okay, did you notice that the huddle is now twice a week? Yeah, twice a week. So it is 8:30 a.m. obviously on Mondays, right? And it's going to be at 12:30 p.m. East Coast time on Fridays. And the idea is to try and get some of the more of my Pacific Coast clients onto the call. It's also going to be a recap on Fridays. I think Fridays would be a good time for us to have this open discussion, recap what's going on in your business, how did it work out this week, where did you have any challenges? That would be the idea. And on Tuesdays, we still have Master the Skill. So that is our role play session. I just labeled it Master the Skills. We're going to use that time, Tuesdays at 8:30, not only role play, but I think it would be more of a discussion on how to improve our skill set. What are how do we pace and lead? I want to get more into some neuro-linguistic programming with you folks, right? Help you teach what sort of language to use for what type of client you're dealing with, whether it's a driver personality style, an amiable personality style. What are the better questions to use with different personality styles? And again, this is to help you move forward in your conversation pieces, right? What else do we have here? And also the Facebook page. If you haven't visited our Facebook page, we do have a personal Facebook page just for our group alone. It's called Coach Danny's Huddle. If you're not on this page, I'm going to put it in the chat here. So if you're not on this page, if I haven't, you please jump onto it. I'll invite you in. Again, this is for my coaching clients. The idea really is to have conversation pieces, like so that if you're challenging and you can't reach me, who else can you collaborate with? I know there's been some really good referrals happening between our little network, which is awesome, right? I coach about 60 coaching clients all around the world. I have the UK, US, Canada, even Hawaii. We're all in there. So if you need some referrals, hey, this would be a great place to do it. All right. Top of your page. Let's write this down. Mastering prospecting. Mastering prospecting. That will be our topic for today. So this is an open discussion. So let me ask you this first question. Describe for me, what is your current prospecting process? What does a successful prospecting day look like in your eyes? So what do you guys got? What does a successful prospecting day look like?
Making the calls and having people answer and having the conversations.
Okay. So making those calls, people responding to you, and you're enjoying those conversations. Okay. So in your eyes, that is a successful prospecting day. Okay. And that's what you get. What do you got, Angie?
That plus making an appointment.
Okay. Booking an appointment. See how you've changed your standards now, right? You look at it, hey, whatever you focus on is what you receive. So like for you, Garth, is making the calls. Angie's taking a little bit step higher and saying, no, I actually want an appointment out of it. Now I'm going to challenge all of you. What's better than an appointment?
A closing.
Well, you can't really get a closing with making calls. That's going to be the work that you've done. That's the results of the work you've done. But I'm talking about prospecting here.
What about a referral?
A referral from someone else?
Hmm.
Is that something that's predictable?
Once you get the appointment, to me, the next thing is getting them to sign the agreement.
Okay, but we're not there yet. We're just prospecting. So we're not in front of them yet to sign anything. It's on the same level as an appointment. What's better than an appointment? Be specific. No? Okay.
Like a signed listing?
Yes, but what's before the signed listing is booking the appointment. So what I'm looking for is, what is it? Monica, you know it. What is it?
Qualified appointment.
That's right. Now, what's better than a qualified appointment? A qualified listing appointment. Would you guys agree a qualified listing appointment is better than a qualified buyer appointment? Right. So you see how specific I'm being? And you're probably thinking, well, that's silly, Danny. No, it's not. It really is the little things that you do. It's the small stuff. This, like, having very specific goal. My prospecting session would be successful if I'm able to book a qualified listing appointment. Qualified listing appointment is someone that you know their motivation, the where, when, and why, where they're moving to, when they like to be there, why they're moving there, right? And in the qualifying questions, you asked, hey, Angie, when I come and see you tomorrow at 6, will you do all the necessary paperwork to put your home on the market with me when I meet with you? Now, that is pretty like in your face. I'm qualifying them, asking that question. And if they say yes, what do I have?
New listing.
I got a really good qualified listing appointment. Now, if you don't ask that question, you really can't say to yourself that you have a qualified listing appointment. You would have more of a real estate visit. But if you don't actually ask them, hey, listen, when I come and meet with you, and this all makes sense to you, Jim, and you're real excited about this, hey, are you looking at listing your home when I come and see you tomorrow at 6? Right? So being very specific. I love it. Excellent. So it's setting the details on your targets as well. Like understanding a successful prospecting day, how many calls do you have to make? How many emails do you have to send out? How many interactions are you looking for in social media, right? Like be very specific, and also time blocking. I'm a fan of not 1 minute late, not 1 minute early. What does that mean? Well, you start your calls or your lead gen period, not 1 minute late. So if you're supposed to do it from 9 to 11 as an example, get on the phones at 8:59. Right? Now 1 minute late. But then we don't want to end 1 minute early either. Go right through. And make sure you hit your 2 goals. Number of conversations and hours of lead gen. So if I get to that 11 mark and my goal is 20 conversations and I've only had 18, I must continue. Let me hit my goals. It's setting standard for yourself is the key here, right? We want to eliminate distractions and utilize those times. All right. From your experience, which prospecting methods have yielded the best results and why? So you got like cold doors, you got cold calling, you got social media reach outs. What is it for you? What is your best method of reaching out to people that has yielded the best results?
I think for me, it has just being in the right place at the right time, showing up for different groups.
Is that
I've been
like
able to
face to face
connect
with people?
Yes,
Would you say it's face to face? So for you, when
Yes.
you're face to face with people, get the best results. Excellent. Anybody have something
Absolutely.
different? Sorry, Jim, can you clarify that?
Yeah, sorry. For me, it's making phone calls, but I tend to get responses from people. It's almost like you put karma out there. I'll make my calls and find a lot of dead ends, and then I'll have a previous client reach out to me and say, "Hey, my mom needs help selling her house." But if I don't make the calls, I don't get that.
I love that. Have you guys ever experienced that? You're in the zone, you're making your calls, you're reaching out to people, you're connecting, you're doing your thing. Nothing's happening. There's no results directly from that. But then all of a sudden, from left field, someone calls you up. It's like, hey, can you sell my home? Anybody else ever experienced that?
Yes.
Now, don't know how to explain it. I don't know if it's the manifestation that we hear a lot of, and it could be. I personally believe it's just simply your RAS in your brain, the reticular activating system in your brain. Because you're in the zone, you want to connect with people, you want to set those appointments, and then all of a sudden you speak to someone out of the blue, and they're just chit-chatting with you, and all of a sudden you book that appointment with them, right? It's just you are in that zone. You're opening up to the world and saying, hey, I'm open for business. This is what I want, so I'm going after it. Right? I agree with that. I love that. What else? What's another method that is working well for everyone or anyone?
Texting.
Texting. Yeah, you're the queen of texting. Hey, Monica, texting. So it's not phone call. It's not it's not a face to face. It's just texting people. Now, how many people would you text to get a good conversation?
Don't know that, but I text 25. I send out 25 messages a day. That's the minimum.
So you send out 25 messages a day. Would you get one conversation, two conversations, 3, 5? What do you think?
The average is 6.
6. Okay. So send out 25, get 6 conversations. Now you start to know your numbers. Of the 6 conversations, how many become an appointment or a face-to-face over Zoom?
Right away about 1, and then that takes time to follow up. And
So you just saw it. So to book an appointment is 25 texts. Send out 50. Send out 75. Send out 100. Right? No, am I wrong here? Right? If it takes 25 to get face-to-face with someone on a Zoom meeting, then send out 50, so you get 2. Love it, love it. All right, so and this is where I want you guys to understand, is it's important that you start to analyze your conversation rates from the different types of prospecting channels each month, right? And then double down on your top performing method, whatever that may be. Start double down on that. Like for you, Laura, like get in front of more people. Like how much more door knocking? I would start doing door knocking in the neighborhood, because if that's the method that resonates with you, then do more of that, right? Discarding less of the ones that don't work out for you. Okay, so if there's any method that's not working out for you, then like put it aside, right? We have several different ways to generate leads. Love it. How do you prioritize your leads during your prospecting activities? How do you prioritize? What criteria help you identify the most valuable prospects? This is a tough question.
well, expires are first for me.
Okay. So you're looking at someone that's put up their hand already, said they're interested in doing something. So you're connecting with that group. Love that. So highest lead source. Okay. What else? You're just on mute, Garth.
People that have referred me in the past.
Okay, so your sphere of influence database, people that know, trust, and respect you, connecting with them, right? That's an easy call. That's an easy connection because there's no upselling. They already know you, right? Another one would be just simply timing. Like there's nothing wrong with calling your hot leads first, right? And I would agree. Like you grab who is the highest in your totem pole, right? Whatever your lead sources are, you all know who is the highest and best use. Like if I call expireds, maybe FISBOs, or maybe my hot leads are better. I got a great deal of hot leads. I'm gonna call them first. Then maybe call my database. Like you know, you're based upon your lead sources, which one gives you the most business up front, and connect with them first in your lead gen. Why at the beginning? Why should you call those at the beginning of your lead gen?
Probably
Positive
get the,
response from them is going to breed activity in you, or it's going to lighten you up.
Right. Like if I call the hot lead who I've been nurturing and they're like, hey, timing's perfect. Let's do something. Let's book that appointment. And I get an appointment booked right away. Guess when is the best time to book a second appointment? Right after the first. Like legit, right after you book a first appointment, now you're on your game. Now you could book 2 or 3 or 4 appointments in that one session that you have booked for yourself.
In the car sales business, the most dangerous salesman on the floor is the guy that just delivered a car because he's most likely to get the next deal.
And why is that? Energy, right? They're in that zone. So when you start to make your calls or make your connections to having those conversations, start with the easy ones. Start with the ones that can get you going right off the bat before you get to some of the harder ones that take a bit of time, right? Love it. What's the biggest challenges that you're facing during your prospecting session?
Sometime when I'm prospecting, I might get one of my clients that want to talk a little longer,
Okay. Yeah.
which runs in over the time that I really want to get through my prospecting. So conversation tends to be a little longer.
All right. So you get caught up in a conversation, someone you haven't spoken to in a while, and it gets longer. So how do we move along from that?
I will say something like, well, I'm getting ready for my next appointment and it was great talking to you. And that's how I end up getting off the phone.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I would say have a conscious effort to take a look at the time, right? Because it's not only your database that you can cut up in a conversation. You can absolutely get caught up in a conversation if you're talking to someone, circle prospecting, an expired, a for sale by owner, someone that's egging you on. The real key is to take a look and have like a timer and say, okay, I need to be careful with this. And what can I say to move along the conversation a bit faster? Right? As opposed to getting into long, lengthy conversations. The key here is understanding when you are lead gen, the idea is to ask questions and listen to them, and then ask another question, and then listen to them, and ask another question, and keep asking questions to the point where you've built the rapport, and now you go into a close. So it's important that we have a close or a number of closes that you can go into to, again, get that appointment and then move on. Now, if you end up booking that appointment on that conversation, I do want you to go right into the qualifying questions, right? Very important that you go right into the qualifying questions and ask those questions. So it's going to take longer. Like once I book an appointment, Laura, hands off, I'm just going to make sure that this person's good before I let them go. And I'm okay with that. You guys understand this, right? But if it's just a long-winded conversation, I'm asking questions. If it's not going anywhere, then I'm going to just move on. Okay, just move on. Okay, excellent. What else? What else distracts you? What other challenges are you facing?
Getting started.
Getting started. Okay. Who here has no problem getting started? Who had, hey, I just jump on and I'm good to go. Anybody? Yeah, it's a common thing. Like getting started is going to be tough. It's about setting yourself up those 20 or 30 minutes before you start your lead gen. Now, I've mentioned this in the past, and if you haven't heard this before, I would write this down. I use what's known as a pre-prospecting routine. I want everyone to have their own, whatever it may be. A pre-prospecting routine is putting yourself in the mental state to begin the session. This is extremely important. So what is it for you? Now, I broke down my pre-prospecting routine into 3 parts. Part number 1 is mental prep. So in mental prep, you may have some affirmations that you want to chant out loud. If you guys can see that, I got my affirmation book here, right? Have some affirmations. Maybe it's watching something motivational, like I just started today's call with a little kind of motivational video at the beginning, right? Maybe it's that, right? Maybe it's just playing some music, kind of a playlist that pumps you up, right? Maybe it's writing out your gratitude. What are you grateful for in this world? And just writing it out every single day. What are you grateful for? Okay. It doesn't matter, but take 10 minutes to kind of hit the reset button, right? Whether it's just doing some huggers and getting yourself excited, right? Whatever that may be, right? Just get yourself in that right mental state. Number 2, part 2, is take some time to practice what to say. See, knowing is confident. It creates confidence. If you know what to say, that will create confidence in you. If you don't know what to say, then that's going to cause some fear. So practicing the scripts and dialogues, and there are so many different scripts and dialogues you can use. And then the last part, number 3, probably the most important part, and it's something that you can do this throughout the entire day, not just at the beginning, and that is taking 5 minutes and visualizing the perfect outcome. As you close your eyes and you see yourself, dialing the phone, asking the questions, booking that listing appointment, and then going into the qualifying questions, finding out the client's motivation, the where, the when, the why, and qualifying that appointment. You visualize putting together the CMA and the listing package, driving to their house, knocking on their door. You visualize shaking their hand, walking through the house, and doing a great listing presentation. Have them sign the listing agreement at your price and at your commission. Then you're going outside, putting a for sale sign on their lawn, putting a sold rider on the for sale sign, then you're driving away with like a $10,000 paycheck. Can you guys see that? Do you take the time to visualize this? See, there's a filter in your brain called the RAS, the reticular activating system. It does not know the difference between fantasy and reality. When you take the time to visualize this outcome, your brain believes you've booked the appointment already. Your brain believes you've already made your first call. So Angie, you just made the first call up here. Now you're just jumping in and making the second call of the day. So having this pre-prospecting routine will help you in starting your prospecting session. All right, excellent. All right, does anyone else have any questions, concerns, hallucinations? No, y'all good? Hey, just a quick reminder, 1 p.m. today, we're doing our group call, right? We're gonna be talking about how to rank higher on Google. So make sure you're there. You can jump on the same way you jumped onto this call. Please unmute yourselves. Loud and proud, I'm gonna yell out what day is it today? And you're gonna yell back at me, it's a money-making day. So you guys ready for this? Oh yeah. Hey, what day is today?
A
money-making
day.
That's right, it's a money-making day. So who do you have to call to book that qualified listing appointment? I know you know them. Make that call. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks so much.